Hello, my beautiful patrons. Today is Wednesday, best day of the week. And today's word of the day is not actually of the day at all. It's this. You see this time of day when the sun is below the horizon, but you have this beautiful light? That is called the gloaming. What a great word, the gloaming. So now you can see we're in the gloaming, and it's beautiful. And what better way to celebrate the gloaming than with some chestnuts roasting on an open fire? How are the chestnuts?
They're good. They're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is actually, you can see it's an old washing machine drum that my father-in-law turned into he turned into a fire. He's a very creative person. Look at that. Okay. Today I want to tell you about something weird and crazy from the Republic of Korea, from South Korea. So for the past 20 years, there's been an obsession, a craze for people to learn English, which is great. Learning languages is good. But the problem is that when you have such a huge obsession with anything, with languages or whatever, it creates a lot of bad things along with the good things. And one of the bad things that they have in South Korea is they have this thing called a lingual frenectomy. So let me explain. So basically, in a lot of Asian languages from that region, there's no sound there's no difference between an R and an L, like in English. Okay, those sounds they either don't exist, or they exist only one of them, so there's no difference. And so there's a common joke, that a Chinese person wants to say fry rice, and they say fly lice. Because to them, there's no difference between an R and an L. Quite a common thing. And the problem is that your ability to hear and to produce sounds, okay, is extremely difficult as an adult. Okay, it's not impossible, but it's extremely, extremely difficult. Okay, all of your, it's learning grammar, learning vocabulary, all of that stuff as an adult is easier. It's easier as an adult to learn grammar and vocabulary and structures, and that's easy. But the pronunciation, the accent, it's very difficult as an adult. That's why I say you'll never lose your accent. Don't waste your time trying because it's almost impossible. Okay, so there's these adults and even children. Okay, even children who are exposed to, imagine you start learning English when you're 5 or 6. It seems early, but when you're 5 or 6, a lot of your sounds are already concrete in your brain. Okay, it's already too late. So now, the physical part of pronunciation of R and L is you lift your tongue up, So is like your tongue is floating, and L, the tongue is a little bit further back and touching, back and touching. So you have if this is the top of your mouth, okay. Now, for some crazy reason, some people think that, okay, so under your tongue here, here you have this connective tissue, it's called a frenulum. And some people in Korea think that if you cut the frenulum, so you just cut if you cut the front of the frenulum here, okay, it's called a lingual frenectomy. If you cut it, then your tongue can go up and touch the top of your mouth and curl, and it will make your English pronunciation perfect. So they send their children to have operations to cut their frenulums so they can have perfect English pronunciation. Well, okay, so there's a number of problems. The first problem is that it won't make any difference because your ability to pronounce R and L has no relation to the length of your frenulum, right? Now, you may have an actual medical problem called I think it's called ankyloglossia. Ankyloglossia is when you have your frenulum is right to the very end of your tongue. Basically, you can't lift up your tongue. But that's a medical condition, not just in Korea. People all over the world have this condition, and you have an operation, you get it fixed. Okay, this is a medical disorder. But unless you have this medical disorder, which is very rare, how many people have you met in your life that have this? Think about it, right? If you have this problem, then you need the operation. But if not, the length of your frenulum will not affect your ability to pronounce English at all. And in fact, cutting the frenulum sometimes causes the length of the ability to bring up your tongue. It reduces the ability to do this. Because of the scarring, it can actually reduce your mobility of your tongue. This is crazy. But this for me, it brings up two issues. One is who are these doctors who are doing this operation when it's not necessary? Bad doctors. And two, who are the people who are suggesting that this will help? That is morally corrupt. It's unethical to do that to a child, to tell them it will improve their English pronunciation. And it's unethical of a doctor to perform unnecessary surgery, right? And I think it would be better to teach people that, one, your accent is part of your identity, don't try to eliminate it. Two, you will never lose your accent anyway, so don't waste your time. And three, if you really want to improve your pronunciation, it's not about having operations, it's about constant hard work. Constant hard work. Focused hard work. Physical activities. Pronunciation isn't a mental activity, it's a physical activity. So by finding the correct mouth positions, we can find perfect pronunciation. And I just wish that more people would embrace their accents. More people would just love their accents, really. Because, English people find a lot of foreign accents very attractive. So, anyway, it was a bit abstract today, a bit strange, but don't cut your tongue. See you tomorrow.